All right, all right, all right. Spencer Knight is back, baby. Whoo! I was getting a wee bit nervous, just a tad, just a touch, just a little peckle nervous that we were not going to be bringing him back for the playoffs. I could never wrap my head around, the idea of having Johansson as the backup for the playoffs. But the team was just so quiet about the whole thing, and nobody asked any questions. So we were all left to conjecture and wonder, but Spencer Knight's been recalled. Beautiful, because what that does, we've got this road trip now. We have one game. We have one home game in the next 23 days. Okay? That's uno, singular, home game in the next 23 days. So, I would assume we're going to see Knight against the Sabres on Monday, so Bobrovsky can play against the Penguins on Tuesday. Not really thrilled that we're finally going to get to play the Penguins at full capacity, and we're going to draw them on the back end of a back-to-back. That kind of sucks. So you throw Knight out there against Buffalo, and then that gives Bobrovsky 4 straight games to play, which we need to see him play well in 4 straight games, every other night. And then we've got a back-to-back, which starts with Vegas. So Buffalo, Spencer Knight, 4 games for Bob. Then the first end of the back-to-back will be Vegas, and you figure we'll see Spencer Knight then. So, of course, I'm not the coach, in case nobody's noticed. So that's not the way, for all we know, we'll see Spencer Knight against the Penguins, but I doubt it. So this is a good, this check one box. Check one box. We've been talking a lot about how, if you're leaving Spencer Knight in the AHL, then suddenly you have a need a backup goaltender for the playoffs. This is good because now we're not going to waste any assets getting a veteran guy in here for one playoff run. Spencer Knight is fully capable. He won Game 5 last year, okay? And really didn't play, he played pretty well in Game 6. So, I like this move. This is what we all wanted to see. We'll live with him being up and down, okay? We'll just have to live with it. If something happens to Bobrovsky, Spencer Knight is perfectly capable of going out there and winning games. Is he capable of going out there and winning a playoff series? We might need to score to 6, 7, 8, 9 goals a night. But at the same point, you just never know, man. Teams have had young goaltenders. Just ask Andre Fleury. Teams have had young goaltenders come in and win a cup. So you just never know. So what that does is it checks that off the box. So now we have, what needs do we really have? And if you guys remember, I did that video with Stu and Billy Lindsay, and he talked specifically about the chemistry of the team. And it's not just about bringing in new guys, it's about who leaves. I like Mason Marchment on that top line. We've been bitching all year long for somebody to please take that spot. Now I know that kind of blows up the third line a little bit, but it leaves us a little bit of room because we can get creative. There's a longer list of guys that we can get to slot in with Lundell and Reinhart on that third line than there are guys who immediately you're assumed going to go play with Barkov. So, if we go get Claude Giroux, okay, then you put Marchment back down to that third line. What's that going to cost us remains to be seen. But you can cross backup goaltender off the list. The way if I had to look at the roster now and say, what do I want them to do? It's a shame because what we need, Stu and I talked about this morning, was a Connaughton type of defenseman to be at 7D. So if somebody gets hurt, you've got a good experienced veteran guy to go in there and play. I don't want to mess with the 6 that we have. I like the 6 that we have on defense. I know we got this new kid who's probably going to be 7, but if you get one, you get one more. And that's 8. That's about what you're going to be able to use. In terms of wingers, I don't know what to do about Frank Vatrano. If we keep him at the third line, he's not coming back next year, so we're going to lose him for free. Big whoop. I'm not really concerned about that. Do we trust him enough to plug him into that third line, or do we want to either A, get a top line guy next to Barkov and move Marchment back down, or to be honest, I like Marchment in that spot. It's a good fit. The kid is playing out of his mind. He's earned it. I think we could get creative now in the list of guys that we could maybe take a look at going and getting, plopping a guy maybe not as well known as a Giroux, okay, but plopping a guy there next to Lundell, giving him maybe an experienced winger who still can score, play defense, play a good two-way game. To me, that's the only move left, is a guy for that spot next to Lundell and a possible 7 or 8D. Other than that, and I could upload this video and be completely wrong, and it could have changed, but I like what we've got on the ice. With the exception of going and getting a Claude Giroux type of player, there's nobody out there that's going to make or break us. So we may roll the dice and go with the guys that we have, because if you're going to go get somebody like Giroux, that's going to cost you. Now you've cost yourself Tippett, cost yourself for Toronto, maybe even Mammon, a pick, all right? It's going to cost us. It's not going to come cheap. So that's really, to me, the biggest question is, do we trust Frank Toronto enough to roll with him on that third line in the playoffs? Because if he tanks, if Frank tanks, you can replace him with Achari. You could replace him with Mammon. Wouldn't mind seeing one of the kids, maybe Denisenko, get put to the playoff roster. I wouldn't mind seeing one of those kids come up and get an opportunity. This is going to be real interesting. So anyway, I just wanted to make short. I just wanted to acknowledge, because we've been talking about it for weeks now, Spencer Knight is back. I expect to see him Monday night. That's it. Tomorrow is Monday. Well, I'm getting ready to say when I'm going to see you guys. I will see you guys tomorrow, 1 hour before the game with the live stream. And we're in it now, people. This is it. There's one more break of about 4 days, and then, but basically from now until whenever we are eliminated or whenever we raise the cup, this is it. It is all day, every day, balls to the wall hockey time.